What's up everyone, G2 Vex30 here, coming at you with another champion chat. Today we'll be talking about the one and only damba and where he fits right now in the current meta. Like with all champion chats, this video will be divided into 3 parts that'll be stamped down in the description. Last time I forgot about it, you guys reminded me I added it, and this time I won't forget about it, promise. Part 1 is the intro. Part 2 are general stats about the champion, which I'm going to have a new edit tonight. It's not going to look amazing. I'm going to do more editing in the future on it, but I just want to see how everyone likes it. So just let me know how you like part 2 now. And that leads into part 3, which is my general opinion on the champion and just my overview about him, how I feel. Also, we are already at 1,500 subs. Wow, thank you everyone so much. We are growing at a crazy rate at the moment. Blows my mind. And thank you to everyone who is new around here. What's up, all the new subs? How you doing? Still kind of like astonished how fast we're growing. So welcome all the new subs, and welcome back all my old subs. And to everybody who's not subbed, if you do enjoy this kind of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, as it would help this channel greatly. That is it for me for now. Let's move right into part 2 of this champion chat on damba. Real quick before we get into part 2, I will not be showing any of my damba builds on screen. I will be showing you here how to look them up yourselves and decide which builds you would like to use. I will not be reviewing builds. I'm just going to review general overview. So if you'd like to import my builds and see what they are, this is how you do it here. So part 2 of this video, we will be going over general stats and just facts about damba, and then this will lead into the part 3 of me just giving my opinion on it. So start off, damba has 2200 health, in line with all supports but Rover. Second thing is his damage and his stun. His damage is 400 every 0.55 seconds to a single target. It's very short range, but his utility, when he reloads, he throws a cobra, his snake, dealing 200 damage and stunning enemies for 1 second. This is damba's big utility item. This is what a lot of people like about him. Also, real quick, as you just saw on the screen, this is the new editing I'm trying on this video. It's not going to look great right now. I'm going to try to mess with it in future champion chats and just see how to edit it better. But it's going to be like this for now. Sorry if it's not high quality, but it's kind of how it is right now. So, next thing is Mending Spirits. Summon a spirit to enchant an ally, healing 280 health every second for 5 seconds. This is his main healing ability. This is hit scan, so wherever your crosshair is, aim, right click, hit the ally, they get healed. 3-second cooldown. Slither, his movement ability. He becomes untargetable for the duration. It's not very long. It's a decent cooldown. It's alright. You can dodge some ultimates and some CC with it. Gourd. You toss a gourd to somebody. It's full of venom, apparently venom that heals allies, for 280 health every second as well. And damages enemies for 200 damage every second. So gourd is his secondary heal ability. It's pretty good. It's really tough to throw, so you have to learn it, but it's a really good heal ability, especially when you're running multi-tanks that are standing next to each other. And final thing is ultimate Dread Serpent. It's just a giant AoE fear that you throw out, and it fears champions for 2 seconds. Moving on to his legendary, Spirit's Chosen. This one is his main healing legendary currently. It heals for additional 300 health up front. So as soon as you right click somebody, they're healed for 300, and then it starts ticking on them. Next one's Ripen Gourd. It's bad. Ripen Gourd's bad. Gourd has 50% chance not to go on cooldown. I'm not even going to show it on the screen. It's awful. Don't use it. Wekono's Wrath. It is decent. I have found uses for it. I'm not 100% if it's good even in those uses, but it can be used as a healer, so it's okay. And then Wekono's Curse, this is his damage legendary. I don't really go over damage stuff for supports right now. We're mainly talking about the healing. So Wekono's Curse is good for damage damba if you want to try it. This is the general overview of damba. These are all of his stats. If you'd like to go through and look through those, you can. But let's move on to part 3. Me giving my general opinion on damba, what I think of him in the meta, and what I think of him as a champion. I'll see you there. Damba's always been a staple healer ever since he came out in Paladins. As soon as he came out, he was a high skill cap, extremely good healer for the meta it was in. And ever since then, he's always been played. I really can't think of a time besides a weird time in Paladins history where healers weren't in meta that Damba wasn't meta. He's always just been a staple character in Paladins. And his kit shows for it. He is one of the most well-designed and well-balanced champions in the game. His damage. Let's just start part by part here. His damage. Not too high, hard to confirm, and has good utility throwing his snake out. Everything a support needs. Not too high damage, right? You can have high damage dealing supports, but they can't be doing a lot of healing. Furia. Cough, cough. Mending Spirits. His hit scan heal. It heals for a solid amount. Now, it's not great if it was his only healing ability. Also, it's a skill-based heal. It's hit scan. You have to aim it, have line of sight on the person, and right click. It's not like you just look through a wall and it auto aims on him. Amen to that. Gord. Like I said with Mending Spirits, if it was by itself, it wouldn't be that good. But he has a second healing ability, Gord. As we talked about earlier, you throw it, it does the same healing, does damage. But again, it's another skill shot. You throw it from your character and it arcs. So you have to take the time on every single map to learn every arc and to understand how the gourd moves in the air and understand how you need to throw it to get to an ally in need. That is high skill cap and well-designed ability. His ultimate. It's nothing simple, but it's nothing too difficult. With the meta, with CCR being meta, crowd control reduction, this hurts him a lot with his ultimate. This fear is super good though. And this has been like, besides the snake, Dread Serpent, when I think of Damba, I think of his Dread Serpent. I'm like, that is his thing. His snake and his Dread Serpent. And his legendaries. Right, the change to Ripe and Gourd probably wasn't the best, Tyrez. Come on. But everything else is pretty well balanced. Oh, Wekono's Wrath was recently changed. That's what I wanted to know. That was recently changed and well done. You made a good change and you pushed it towards viability. But the problem is Spirit's Chosen is just better. Is raw better. 300 healing up front just makes him unstoppable on tanks like Inara, who can pop healing increase by 60% when she pops her right click. Or Khan, who has increased healing on his shield and his loadouts. This heal can go from 300 to 500, 450 that easy. Now, the reason I say Ripe and Gourd is bad for Maldamba because it's just silly. They don't stack on each other, and having an RNG cooldown on a healer, when you think of a healer, you have to think of reliability. If you want to be a healer one day and you want to be a professional healer, you need to be reliable and you need to be consistent. When I think of healers, those are two main traits I think are very important to a good healer. I try to pride myself on consistency and reliability. I try to play the same every game, or better. And having a legendary that takes your gourd, and if you throw it once, you might get it back, you might not. That's just silly, and you're missing 300 health every 3 seconds. You're getting 300 extra health every 3 seconds on somebody, besides healing like Rejuvenate, Inaro, Khan, so on and so forth, etc. Wekono's Wrath. I want to touch on this for a second. Hyra's, great change. Wekono's Wrath might have found itself in a meta if it wasn't burst meta. If you really didn't need that raw healing output, you might see more healing Wekono's Wrath Dambas. 100% fact. If there wasn't so much damage and you didn't have to have so much healing, sorry, I gotta move my mic real quick, sorry about that. I don't know if you heard anything. But if you didn't have to have so much damage, so much healing, you might be able to run these off legendaries. But the game is so bursty right now, so it's a problem. But good change. Tosses faster, further, deals 500 damage base. Awesome. Good job. And the last one, Wekono's Curse, like I said earlier, I kind of just review support things on characters, so I don't really deal with this. But like I said, the reason I basically redid part 2 and gave more of an opinion on them is because this right there is why he's staple. He has such a balanced and well-designed kit that there's no way Maldamba, besides a drastic nerf or drastic buffs to other supports, he will ever fall out of meta. He will never be not viable unless they nerf Damba. Ever. I will say that right now, for a fact, 100% certain. Damba will never be not viable. Now, there's a difference between viable and meta. Meta means 100% these characters are the best pick. Viable means, yeah, you can pick this character and it can work. Just like Furia, Ying, Damba. They're all meta right now. Pip, Grover, they're all pretty viable. They can work, but you have your meta, and then you're viable, and then you're not viable. And really, most supports are viable right now, which is pretty healthy for the game. I'm very happy about. But that's getting a little bit off topic. Back to Damba. I've always, ever since day one, I've been in love with this champion. Back when I played for Fabri, way back in the good old days, 2-3 years ago, I was a sub. I started as a sub because I was working at Pizza at the time. And when I discovered Maldamba and he was released, I just picked up on him and played him. It was kind of crazy competitive back then. You're allowed to bring in a sub after your draft to play because there was no in-game drafting at the time. It was all done on a Google Sheet outside the game. So our team would draft, and say we picked Maldamba, I would come in and play Maldamba because I was so good at him and I just learned him so fast and I was so ahead of the curve that I literally just came in to play Maldamba. Now the reason I was a sub rather than main roster full healing was because Powtech at the time was playing longer and I didn't have time. I was a sub because I was working at Pizza. I needed him to have a living, but I was playing a lot on the side streaming. So I picked up a sub and just that's where my competitive career started. But ever since day one, I fell in love with this character. And I can thank Hi-Rez for not crushing him and not ruining him in any way. Now, there are ways they could. They were going to increase his dash cooldown and heal cooldown at one point. I do was his heal cooldown for like 5 seconds. I was like, that would have killed him right there. Anything more than 3 seconds on his heal, his Mending Spirits heal, he's just going to be crushed. You can't nerf. Damba is the pinnacle of a support right now. Like, you can go watch my tier list from patch 1.5. I think I said the same thing. Damba is the pinnacle. I think every other support needs to be brought up to them, or burst meta needs to be nerfed, and then the top 3 supports right now need to be nerfed as well. One of the two need to happen, and I believe just burst meta needs nerfed. Or this, well, I want burst meta to be nerfed, and then you bring down Furia a little bit, you bring down Ying, you don't really bring them down. You bring down Fury a little bit and you see where it goes from there. But you don't nerf Damba. That is not good for the game. He is one of the most well-balanced, well-designed, fun characters in the game. Hi-Rez, please don't nerf Damba ever in the future. He is the pinnacle of perfection when it comes to supports. I beg you, please never nerf him. Or change his kit. Oh, God forbid you change his kit. I'd cry. I'd cry myself to sleep that night. But I think that's it. That's really all I have to say about Damba. He's the pinnacle of perfection for me. He is the ideal support. And it shows. He'll always be viable. He's always played no matter what. But yeah, that's it. That's it for this champion chat, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed the new part 2 of the video, putting the skills on the screen. Hopefully that helps you comprehend the information. I know some of you already know that information, but I'm sure some of you don't. I'm sure some of you never played a game of Damba in your life. I don't know if you have or not, but you know what I mean. It just helps get that thought in your head so you understand what I'm referring to in part 3. So hope everyone enjoyed. I know I enjoyed. Thank you guys all for 1,500 subs. We're on a road 1,600 in a few days, 1,700, 2K in a week or two. Can we make that happen? 2K subs in a couple weeks? I see my analytics. I know about 60% of you aren't subs, so if you're to this part, you might as well just sub, right? Alright, besides the point. Enjoy your day, night, evening, dawn, dusk, morning, whatever it is where you live, and enjoy yourself. Have a great day. Be nice to people. And I'll see you guys. Later.